So good morning to everybody. I think we should start. Dear colleagues, distinguished guests, dear members and friends from EIF, let me warmly welcome you to our morning session. I think we have a very interesting topic on the agenda this morning: the data protection and transatlantic data flows, the privacy shield. Where do we stand? That is our topic of today, and I think it's a very interesting topic, and I'm really happy that you all showed up so early this morning. Let me especially warmly welcome my colleagues from the European Parliament. I'm more than happy that Mrs. Callas is joining us this morning. I look at Lambert van Nistelrooy, warmly welcome here again. Michael Boni and Axel Voss decided to come this morning to our meeting, and here on the other side I'm happy that my Irish colleague Derek Clune is also joining us this morning, and I'm also very happy that Erika Mann is with us, our former colleague, still connected with everyone here in the house. As you all know, we have very renowned speakers this morning. I am going to introduce them in a minute. Let me maybe briefly introduce into the topic. That the European Commission and the United States have agreed on a new framework for the exchange of transatlantic data, the EU-US Privacy Shield. And you all are aware of that transatlantic data flows have a significant economic impact. Even though no single legal instrument can address for all time all of the privacy issues on both sides of the Atlantic, the Privacy Shield is a step forward in providing EU as well as US companies with a legal basis for transmitting data across the Atlantic while safeguarding basic individual privacy rights. With many larger organizations having moved in the last 6 months to alternative mechanisms for transferring data like model clauses or binding corporate rules, the Shield remains the simplest and most cost-effective way to move data for many small and mid-sized undertakings and organizations. And I think this was also the argument brought forward by a lot of colleagues when we had our debates in the European Parliament some weeks ago on the Privacy Shield. And I'm looking now to the Commission. And I hope, Mrs. Nicolai, that you have also been happy with the resolution which we passed in the European Parliament. I think we made a very sensitive approach. And all of my colleagues who really worked hard in getting this resolution done, I'd like to thank you once again. And I know it was not easy to get to that very end, but finally I think we managed to pass this legislation and also send out the right signals. This morning we are going to discuss the significance of data flows for businesses on both sides of the Atlantic, the improvements of the Shield compared to the previous regime, Safe Harbour, and addressing key concerns that were expressed by the Article 29 working group and the privacy community. So, you all know, dear colleagues, dear ladies and gentlemen, we have only limited time this morning, so if you'd like to get more information on the topic, or if you'd like to get more information also on our speakers, please have a look at the papers which have been circulated around. I have now the great privilege in introducing our distinguished, renowned speakers for today. And let me start with introducing to you Daniel Fessler. He's a partner with Baker McKinsey. So, Mr. Fessler, great that you take your time to come to the European Parliament and discuss with us the topic on Privacy Shield. I am as well also very happy that Mrs. Renate Nicolai, the head of cabinet of Commissioner Vera Jourova, is with us this morning. You worked, if you allow me to say that, day and night on the Privacy Shield and put a lot of energy in it, and it's still not over. We are really, really happy to learn from you what the status quo is right now, and be ensured that you will have our support also within the next coming weeks and months. And last but not least, I'm also very happy that John Frank, Vice President European Government Affairs from Microsoft, is with us this morning, and Microsoft also was the initiator, if you allow me to say that he brought the topic up, that it's very important also to talk about the privacy shield here in the Parliament once again, and I think that's a very important point as well. So thank you all for coming, and without further ado, I think we should now start our debate, and if Mr. Fessel is so kind and comes to the microphone, the floor is now yours. Thanks.